Get started. Welcome to the Board of Education's December 4th, 2023 work session. Please stand as we observe a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Ms. Christie.
Face the flag. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States.
I'd like to recognize the elected officials out in our audience today. We have Commissioner Larson J. Welcome to our meeting tonight. Board members, thank you to all of you who attended Friday's policy review meeting. Our next policy review is scheduled for Friday, January 19th at 10 a.m. in the Summer Place Community Room, which is just that room G410 in the building. Also, just to note, Mr. McMillan will be absent tonight due to illness. Thank you to everyone else who's in attendance tonight. I just want to remind you that this is the board's public business meeting to discuss items that come before us for consideration. We would ask that you be respectful and courteous at all times, and also please be mindful that the sound does carry in this room pretty easily. So if you need to speak to your neighbor or take a call, we just ask that you take those outside of this room. So thank you. Are there any requested changes to the meeting agenda? Do we have a motion to approve? Okay, a motion by Ms. Horn, a second by Mr. Watson. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Dr. Reiswick?
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Thank you for the chance to give a few updates. It seems like my updates get longer and longer, so I apologize for that. But I'd like to start by highlighting our Principal for a Day event that took place on November the 16th. This year we had 152 leaders throughout our community that participated in the event. These community leaders represent countless businesses and organizations throughout Knox County. We know that their time is tremendously valuable, and we want to thank everyone who participated and chose to spend the morning with a principal shadowing their day. We're always grateful for the opportunity to share and work with the community, and I'm equally grateful for the feedback that our Principals for a Day shared with us regarding their experiences. That really is a neat event where I think it's just kind of eye-opening to just what happens in a school every day. And so we enjoyed being at that lunch as well. Next, I'd like to address an issue that's been a topic of conversation actually here and also across our country. Within the last month, we've received some inquiries regarding library book challenges. And this is not something that comes up every year. So if you'll bear with me, I kind of want to walk through just for the public kind of what that process is. First, I just want to be clear that these questions are related to books that were available in school libraries, not books that were being used for classroom instruction. Last week, as Ms. Henderson just mentioned, that we were able to discuss this topic in our policy review meeting, so I appreciate the board for raising very thoughtful questions and for engaging in the open and constructive dialogue, because it is, a lot of these issues that we deal with and you all help us deal with are really gray. So thank you for that. I also want the community to know that we do have a process for challenging library books, and it's a process that I feel has served us well over the years. Again, these things are never easy. But it's also important that we have processes to be able to address those. So for those of you in the community who may not be familiar with our process, library book challenges begin at the school level. Challenges can be submitted by a KCS student, a KCS parent or guardian, or a KCS staff member. This is an important element of the challenge process as it focuses decisions closest to the school. And we've talked a lot about that. We really believe that our community is large, vast, has a lot of different beliefs and values, and so lots of times the closest we can get to the school to make those decisions matter. So that's where this policy begins. Beginning with localized decision-making is a critical step in accounting for the unique values and interests of each school district. Students, parents, and staff who want to formally request a removal of a book from the school library can submit a form, and the form number is MC114. And that goes to Dr. Phillips, our Executive Director of Literacy and Learning. And this form is available on the KCS website under our forms page, so you can find it there and fill it out. Once a formal request for removal has been made, Dr. Phillips works with the school where the request originated and establishes a review committee in accordance with KCS Administrative Procedure I-212, or excuse me, 212, I-212. This school level committee will consist of, this is laid out in the procedure, a certified school librarian, classroom teachers, and it could be more than one certified school librarian, classroom teachers, parents, and students, and they are charged with reading the material in its entirety, reviewing the general acceptance of the material by reading recognized and evaluative reviews, determining the extent to which the material supports the curriculum, judging the material for its strength and value, and making a recommendation to the school principal. If the complainant requests further review after the school level decision is made, they can make that appeal to me, the superintendent. At that time, I would form a district level committee to conduct a second review of the book. Using the committee's recommendation, I would then make a recommendation to the board regarding that request, and the final decision would rest with the board. So there is an appeal process that could go to a district level, and then we bring that to you all, the board. I do want to add 2 notes in relation to this process. First, our school librarians are routinely reviewing and evaluating their collections, and they often remove books from circulation if they no longer fit the needs of their intended audience. And second, books that are under review do remain in circulation until the reconsideration process has concluded. That's laid out in our policy. So in short, just really wanted folks to be able to understand, because we don't deal with this every day, that it's a very comprehensive and I believe very effective process for us to be able to get that done. In some cases, we actually have removed the books from the library on these challenges, and others the books have remained. But in every case, we will continue to take these challenges seriously and conduct thorough reviews when the issue is warranted. Next, I'd like to invite our Assistant Superintendent of Student Success, Jason Myers, to the microphone to provide an update on the Student Success Deep Dive, specifically with regard to special education improvements.
Thank you, Dr. Reiswick. I'm happy to provide an update for the board here leading up to our presentation in January. On November 27th, we held the first meetings for both the Special Education Council and the Student Success Leadership Council. As I mentioned last month, each member of the task force was invited to be a part of the Special Education Council. I'm thankful for the opportunity to engage with our former task force members. I can share that this has already been a valuable opportunity to hear about their experiences navigating special education and what motivates them to engage in this work. As a reminder, I tasked the Student Success Leadership Council with identifying opportunities for meaningful improvements in all areas of student success. The Special Education Council will provide critical feedback and serve as a sounding board for our continuous improvement efforts in special education specifically. I am thankful to the members of each group for their commitment to this important project. Each council will meet again on December 13th. I also want to update the board on the ESS contract. To date, our special education staff and human resources have worked with ESS to fill approximately 30 TA vacancies in our district. I want to express my gratitude to the Special Education Task Force, the board, and Dr. Reiswick for their support of this contract. Finally, I'm excited to announce that we have hired our Student Success Advisory and Improvement Officer, Chelsea Price. Ms. Price has already hit the ground running and is providing important insight into our change process in special education. In her role, Ms. Price will be responsible for looking at best practices and always with an eye toward continuous improvement and the quality of our student and family experience. Ms. Price is unable to be with us tonight as she is attending a legal conference. I want to thank the task force, the board, and Dr. Reiswick for supporting the development of this new position. Dr. Reiswick, that concludes my update.
Thank you, Mr. Myers, and very excited. I know I've had a lot of conversations with Jason as he's thinking through how we can be better, and I think we're starting to take some of those action steps toward that, and reconvening the task force and building these structures for the future so that we can vet through those, and then also hiring of Ms. Price. Got to talk to her a few times, is very much ready to do this work and excited about it. She did mention there's a lot of acronyms in education, which we said, yes, you'll get used to them. But anyway, so thank you, Jason. Finally, I'd like to direct your attention to the KCS annual report that's on your desk. This is the first time that KCS has produced an annual report to our knowledge, and we're very hopeful that it will be a valuable way to provide transparency and openness, not only to the board, but also for our community more broadly. In it, you'll find the results of our progress made toward the objectives in the 2022-23 annual plan, as well as reports about our work over the past year and a look ahead to our continuous improvement efforts. The KCS annual report is also available on our website, and I would encourage anyone who's interested in learning more about our work to read it. You can access the report at knoxschools.org. And I would like to say a special thank you to our communications team. This was a lot to put together, but we understand that being transparent and telling our story really matters. And so I want to thank them for that. Also, our REA team that pulled a lot of data together to make this happen. So a lot of it in the strategy division, and we're thankful for the work that's done there. So, Madam Chair, that concludes my report for the evening.
Thank you, Dr. Reiswick. I'm excited about this annual report. Thank you for putting that together and to all the staff who made it happen. And thank you for those reports. I know a lot of parents have reached out to me on both of those topics, so I appreciate those. Next, we have Mr. Taylor from Knox Ed Foundation. He's going to give us an update on the Play Space Fund. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity to be here with you this evening and share some information with you. But I'm excited to share that today at Fountain City Elementary School, the Knox Education Foundation officially announced the launch of the Play Space Fund. The Play Space Fund is a public-private partnership established to provide funding to address the inconsistencies in play spaces across schools in Knox County. The launch of the fund provides for a standard of quality of play spaces throughout the district. KF worked with the Knox County Schools Playground team to identify the standard for school playgrounds, taking into account factors such as the school size, the student population, whether a pre-K is located on site, ADA needs, and the available playground space on the school campus. Leveraging the combination of public and private contributions, the Play Space Fund seeks to reduce the burden of individual school play space funding while ensuring that play spaces throughout the district meet the standard at each school. In phase one of the Play Space Fund, which was announced today, there are 11 playgrounds at 7 schools that will be funded, and those schools include Bell Morris Elementary School, Fountain City Elementary School, Fair Garden Early Learning Center, Knoxville Adaptive Education Center, Sarah Moore Green Elementary, Spring Hill Elementary, and West Haven Elementary. The schools supported in the first phase were determined to have the highest need based on a review by a certified playground inspector. I also want to thank the school board for your leadership and commitment to this effort. Your initial contribution of $250,000 was the lead gift that helped kick the Play Space Fund off, and your support will have a huge impact and has been instrumental in helping leverage additional community support for the fund. Approximately $4.5 million is needed to standardize play spaces across the district. KEF has secured a portion of the funding and is launching today with the announcement of the fundraising campaign to raise the remaining $2.3 million needed by the 2026-2027 school year. And we're asking the community to help us reach that goal by making a contribution to the fund. And I wanted to say we're excited about this partnership with KCS and look forward to continuing to support additional schools with you beyond phase one. And there's additional information about the Play Space Fund available on our website. And I know it's great to see a number of you at Fountain City this morning for part of that for the kickoff. But I'll pause. You may have questions, but I wanted to give some background and information about the fund and share that with folks and then see if you had specific questions.
Does anybody have any questions for Mike? Oh, we're an easy bunch tonight.
There you
Mike.
go. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Mr. Watson.
No questions, but Mr. Taylor, I mean, we got to give a shout out. I mean, we really appreciate you and the leadership of the foundation. Commissioner Jay, I know has been helping spearhead this, and to already come to us with half of that money committed, we're just extremely grateful. And I know quite a few of us got to go to the event today, and it was interesting watching the reveal of each of the 7 schools. And the kids that were there from Fountain City, you know, they oohed when it was theirs first. And then I kept hearing them say, ooh, I think I like that one better. Ooh, I think I like that one better, right? Like kids, I mean, they get it, right? And they're all about it. And so that was enough for me, just seeing their response today. So appreciate you and the leadership of the foundation.
Thank you. Thank you. We're excited to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you.
I agree. Thank you, Mike.